I did this before, and I thought it was just a little too rough. It wasn't smooth enough for video land. So I'm gonna try it again. I call it the Great Commandment. We have the 10 Commandments, which we could appropriately call the Sinai Commandments, because it was given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai for the Jewish people, for the Israelites. The 10 Commandments. And, you know, I mean, it's okay to take anything God gives to the Jewish people. We can take it, we can make it for all people, all right? Because every good and perfect gifts come from God. Although sometimes there's some Jewish things that doesn't apply, or we can't make it work for everybody, because there's some uniqueness. The Jewish people, their relationship, Israelis' relationship to God has some uniqueness to it. Some promises that God gave to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, you know, Solomon, them people, the prophets, etc. But this great commandment is the first commandment that God gave to man that we know of. And the commandment is found in Genesis chapter 1. I'm driving, so I don't have my Bible to confirm. It's somewhere up in the 28th, 29th verse, somewhere up there. And God said to Adam, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and have dominion over the, you know, the beasts of the field and the animal kingdom, and have dominion over the earth." But the commandment was to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth with human beings. As I said somewhere before, human beings were created to be replacement for the angels, 1/3 of the heavenly people that, or beings that went with Satan. That's my thought. You know, that in order for God's kingdom to regain its completeness, a number of people equivalent to the number of people that rebel with Satan, you know, must choose to follow Jesus. Almost a reversal of, you know, Satan and his gang, what they did, right? They choose to disobey God, and humans have a choice to choose to obey God. And it's making this great commandment so important. Making having kids so important. Societies all over the world throughout history, it was a shame and disgrace not to have children. Children are a gift from God. Blessed is the man that has his quiver full. I think David said that. As a father of many, I can see the essence of growing your branch, your unique branch of the human family tree. Every man and a woman that come together is a unique combination of humanity. Children are essential. To carry on a culture and a society, you got to have another generation. You got to have a future generation. Just think about it and imagine a place that have no children. The seniors, elders, they get old and they die, then the culture dies with them. So there's no society, any place that has any continuance without children be born. And keeping in mind God's first known commandment to Adam, be fruitful and multiply. To Adam and Eve, rather, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Then it makes homosexuality. It makes abortion. It makes those things extremely sinful because they go against that commandment. And what is sin? Sin is disobeying God. Sin is rebelling against God. Sin is going against God's creation, anything to do with God. You go against that's sin. That great commandment, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. It's important that we have kids. That's why when you look in the human family, you see rich folks having kids, poor folks, handicapped people, everybody, are being fruitful and multiply, trying to fill the earth. Everybody, at every level of society. I mean, let's keep it real. We look at some folks and it's like, what are they doing having kids? What are they doing together? Like, what is it? Some of it I don't get. Handsome guys with these overweight women and two overweight people and just you look at and when we look at it from a human perspective, we're like, no, them people shouldn't be together. Them people shouldn't be having kids. These people shouldn't be having a family. But there's something in God's creation that drives us to that. I mean, you think of all the birth control things and materials and methods and all that stuff that we have, and yet the world's population just keep growing. People just can't stop having kids in spite of man's best effort to thwart God's important commandment. World's population just keep increasing. I have to conclude now that it's something that God has put in the world and it can't be stopped. Man can't stop it. There's going to be some societies that some society is going to die out because they choose, but in terms of the overall population of the world, that's going to continue to increase because God has ordained it and instituted a system in the world that cannot be stopped or interrupted. God's great commandments. It's to all people. It wasn't just to the Jews. It's not just that's why it was given to Adam. Adam was the first, Adam and Eve, the first people. They had no country. They had no nationality. They had no, So that is something that is for all the world. And in reality, we see that all the world keeps procreating. Now, as Jesus said, not everybody has the gift of producing children. For whatever reason, some people just can't have kids. And for some, it's very grievous. It's a very, very hurtful thing. But you have to talk to God about that. Be fruitful and multiply. It's a commandment that's given to all of us. And of course, God wants it to be done. God is taking it however he can get it. Because, people are producing babies in adultery and fornication, in prostitution, but it's important to God that babies are born. But God wants you to do it in a godly manner, in righteousness. But it is so important that God is taking it however he can get it. Again, I say, if you're not able to have children, you have to talk to God about it. Understand that God wants us, for this purpose should a man leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one. God wants you to do it in holy matrimony. I was talking to my friend, Shirley, the other day, teacher Shirley, and I wanted to go revisit the conversation, just to emphasize the fact that, although God's idea of marriage is a man and a woman, a man leaving his mother and father, cleaving to his wife, and the two becoming one flesh, they come together to raise a family, have children, raise a family, have a life together outside of legality. You don't need no paper sign for that to impress God. But I say, it's valuable that you have paper sign, because the legality, the legal part of it, there's a legal aspect to marriage and the things that you guys have together. And so, don't ignore the legal context of it. For instance, if you guys have some stuff, and there's a death, and there's no will, no legal setting for it, then the state can come in, government can come in and do whatever they want to do with it. In the US, it's called probate, and you don't want that. So you want to have some legal, some documentation, and that's where the paper comes in. Again, if you don't have any kids, and having kids is a wonderful thing. Not only does it benefit you, not only does it benefit God, giving more choice for people to follow him, but it benefits you in your senior years. You have people you can depend on, people that will take care of you. It's great for society. You're producing solid citizen in the society. It's great. So either way, that great commandment still exists. Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Bless up.